Chapter 7. Ollantaytambo, Peru, the machine that watches. Rio returned to the place where the stone had first stirred. His hope was the rock would go back to its original resting spot. Morning mist clung to the terraces, beating on pink granite and soaking into the cracks between ancient blocks. He knelt where he had before, placed his palms flat against the quartz-veined slab, and sang. The stone drifted forward, and the ground groaned as a deep tremor rolled through Ollantaytambo, like breath-leaving lungs that had been holding it for centuries. Amidst the stone, seams split open along lines too clean to be fractures. With a sound like sand crushed against glass, ancient gears moved on their own, revealing a spiral staircase downward. What Rio saw as he looked down through the crevice was a subterranean chamber below. Rio swallowed and stepped down. He descended to the end of the stairs. The chamber was circular and vast. Obsidian tiles lined the walls, polished so dark they reflected everything. Copper inlays traced spirals, nodes, and branching paths. The hum was stronger now and felt throughout every cell of Rio's body. The stone floated beside Rio, steady and protective. It never bumped him. It stayed close enough to be seen. At the center of the room stood a table carved from a single piece of stone. There were no switches, only symbols arranged in a circle around a spiral so deep it seemed to draw the eye inward. Rio reached out. The moment his fingers brushed the spiral, the chamber awakened. In Arizona, Dome 001. The alert arrived. Crimson light rippled across the dome's inner canopy as the global resonance interface populated itself without command. Node activation detected. Location, Ollantaytambo. System status, conditional reboot. Authority level, child only. The room fell silent. Ian stared at the feed. That's not a lockout, right? Tara's voice was barely above a whisper. Child only sounds like a filter. Romano frowned. For what? Tara continued, exactly. What purpose would a reboot need a child's input? Elle stepped closer to the projection. The data wasn't flowing through the network. It's not online, Elle said slowly. It's self-contained somehow. Ian swallowed. Then how is it? Running, Elle finished. How is it showing up on the interface? In Peru. Inside the obsidian chamber, node symbols lifted from the walls, reflecting like constellations made of light onto the polished obsidian. He saw cities swallowed by water, forests blackened, and satellites falling from the sky. Then he saw children. They were building something new. At the center of it all was a symbol of a finger hovering over a spiral. A soft voice spoke, emanating from all around him. It said, "Do you wish to continue the pattern or rewrite it?" Rio's heart hammered. He was 9, and he never chose anything that mattered this much. The Earth wasn't asking adults anymore. It was asking him. Arizona, dome response. Tara looked pale. I hope it's not judging us. Then what else would it be doing? Romano asked. Elle didn't look away from the feed. It must be observing something. A new overlay appeared and ancient energy maps aligning with modern fault lines, water tables, and atmospheric flows. Max leaned forward, suddenly alert. That pattern. Elle nodded. The location the letter sent me to in Colorado Springs. Ian blinked. Tesla's hidden lab site? The one that never quite went dark, Max said. There were no electrical grids drawing emissions there either. It had no Wi-Fi. Most importantly, it had no corporate monitoring. Romano scowled. How was that able to stay under the radar? Max shook his head. It was intentional. Elle turned to him. I think we need to understand what is in Ollantaytambo and how Tesla's hidden lab is synchronizing with specific locations across the globe. Max, I know you're interested in finding the power source. Do you want to take students there? Max said. Yes, we all need to see what a clean system looks like. One that doesn't broadcast, extract Earth's materials, and monetize off it. I'll ask for volunteers. Beth, Max's wife, then spoke to the console. Dr. Lee, will you help Rio? He needs to talk. Deep underground. The stone floated to Rio's side, glowing softly. One of the symbols turned green, a spiral coiled inward. Another glowed red, a spiral expanding outward, breaking the edges of the circle. Rio began to raise his hand to touch a symbol, then stopped. He whispered, I don't know yet. The machine paused as if thinking. Then, on the wall behind him, a countdown appeared. 40-second gene key, 42 days until final choice. Back at Arizona Dome 1. The countdown projected across the dome sky, impossible to ignore. 42 days. Gene key. Tara murmured. What does that mean? Elle didn't blink. Behind her, a sealed archive flickered to life. It was a Tesla journal. The rebirth machine is not built to save civilization. It exists to test whether civilization should be allowed to continue. Only the untouched, the uncorrupted, can be trusted to answer. Children were the safeguard. The dome fell silent again. This time they understood. Elle stood in silence, eyes locked on the timer projected across the sky of the dome's inner ceiling. 42 days, Tara said. That's not a lot of time. Elle raised her eyebrows and slowly nodded while looking at her team and academy brainstormers of free thinkers in the form of children, parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, and cousins who chose to help the world progress and find solutions. We can figure this out, Elle said. It's what our hearts were made for.